It's late at night, you're winding down, and suddenly a heavy knock. Through the blinds, you see the pulse of red and blue police lights. Your heart rate spikes. Your immediate human instinct is to turn the knob and see what the officers want. But taking that specific action in the next 30 seconds effectively waives the strongest privacy protection the law provides. And before we go further, note that this is an educational analysis of constitutional law, not legal counsel. Under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, American law views your residence as a protected space, shielding you from unreasonable government searches and seizures. But that constitutional shield has a critical vulnerability. Its power relies almost entirely on keeping the state on the outside of the physical barrier of your house. The moment you voluntarily swing that door open, you neutralize your strongest legal defense before a single word of conversation even takes place. To legally cross your threshold, police generally need one of three things: a warrant signed by a judge, an immediate emergency, or exigent circumstances, or your homeowner consent. When you open the door to talk, you are triggering the plain view doctrine. Opening a door grants officers a legal vantage point into your home, and anything they can see or smell from where they are standing becomes legally fair game. If they spot something suspicious on a table, or catch a specific smell wafting out from the hallway within that cone of vision, they instantly have probable cause. That observation grants them the legal authority to bypass the warrant requirement entirely. Many citizens assume the safest route is just to let the police inside and comply with whatever they ask, and if the officers violate any rights, simply sue them in civil court later. Choosing a future lawsuit over your immediate rights moves the conflict from your doorstep into a courtroom, where the rules of engagement are heavily weighted toward government officials. To sue a state or local officer for violating your civil rights, you file a claim under 42 U.S. Code Section 1983. This federal statute allows citizens to seek financial damages against government officials who abuse their power while acting under color of law. But Section 1983 lawsuits are blocked by a legal doctrine known as qualified immunity, which acts as a shield protecting individual officers from personal liability. This Toro Law Review page highlights the plaintiff's burden. You must prove the officer broke a clearly established rule. Look at this highlighted section. It describes a paradox where unconstitutional actions get immunity if deemed reasonable. An official can act reasonably unreasonably. Because federal civil courts are designed to insulate officers via qualified immunity, depending on a judge to grant you a remedy after the fact is a losing battle. Since the back-end civil remedy is so difficult to obtain, an aggressive front-end defense of your physical door is your only practical option. The first tactical rule is simple. Communicate with officers exclusively through a locked door or a closed window. You maintain the physical seal to protect your interior from the plain view doctrine. Once you establish contact from safely inside, you must ask the ultimate threshold question: do you have a warrant? If they say yes, tell them to slide it under the door. You need to audit the warrant for three specific legal parameters: the judge's signature, your exact address, and the specific scope of the search. Forcing the state to produce physical documentation through a closed door successfully shifts the legal burden of proof away from you and back onto the officers. If they do not have a warrant, police may attempt the exigent circumstances bluff, claiming an emergency requires their immediate, warrantless entry into the home. You need to provide the exact verbal script required to counter this bluff. Speak through the door and say, "There is no emergency here. Everyone is safe. I do not consent to entry." This specific phrasing creates a definitive verbal record that completely negates any legal argument of implied consent. That deadbolt is the literal boundary of the Fourth Amendment. As long as it remains engaged, state authority to enter your home is strictly limited. In the American legal system, constitutional rights do not enforce themselves. They only hold power when citizens actively force the state to respect the threshold.